that looks good. Ah. So, werte Nerdingers, heute habe ich eine junge Künstlerin und ihr kennt sie. Ihr kennt diese Figuren. Sarah Anderson oder Sarah Anderson. What is the right pronunciation?
Sarah Anderson.
Sarah Anderson.
You can say it many ways.
Okay. So, also wie gesagt, das hier kennt ihr aus dem Internet. So when did you start with cartoons doing this style and this characters?
2011.
2011. That's far longer back than I thought.
Yeah. It's I was 19, and
Okay.
I was a sophomore in college, and I was at art school.
So was this a fun project, or did you think of? Why did you start it anyway?
So I was studying illustration, and I had always drawn comics since I was like 10, and it was kind of like a diary for me, and I would just write them to make my friends laugh. But then when I was in art school, I had an art blog, and so I would sometimes post the comics too, thinking it was just a funny thing to make people laugh. And after some time I noticed that the comics always got way more attention, and that kind of clued me in that I might actually be a better cartoonist than an illustrator.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the internet's reaction.
So when did you start growing big in the social media?
I think in the years after 2011, I think like 2013 and 14 were maybe the years that I started to go pretty viral.
How many followers do you have right now?
It depends on the platform. I think my biggest is Instagram, and it's been hovering at like 4.3 million forever, and I'm like, I want to get it up to 4.4. But it's been there for like, I think years now, so.
All right. Funny wise, it took a while until I found you, and even more funny is that I know this very early, but I didn't know this. So from when is that?
This is 2020, and Fangs is actually my bestseller.
This is your bestseller?
It's my bestseller. I basically live off of the royalties of Fangs, and I think people just so strongly associate me with the Sarah Scribbles style that they don't really make the connection that I'm also this artist.
that is what happened to me.
Yeah.
When I saw this here at the table, I was not thinking of that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So, and we have also this.
Yes, Cryptic Club.
What is also a little bit different. It's more the style like that, but it is different content and it's colored.
Yeah.
So, is all of that present in the internet and the social media, or is mainly that? And these are like publishing side projects?
They are all online. Fangs, Sarah Scribbles and Cryptic Club are on every platform, and then Fangs had an exclusivity deal, and you can only find it on Tapastic. But it is online.
All right.
Yeah.
And you grew as an internet phenomenon, and then a publisher came to you and asked you for, can we print that?
Yeah, but I had been digitally syndicated by that publisher, Andrews McMeel. They have a digital syndicate, and I had been working with them through that for a few years before I did the book. So I was already in contact with my publisher for a while before we did the first book together.
Is this the first book and so far the only book, or do you have more of these?
This is the last book, so this is the fifth book.
The fifth?
Yeah.
And all the others sold out because I don't see it.
No, I only brought this one to this convention because it came out October 1st actually, so pretty recently.
And it's very soft because it's I don't know. In Germany we say it's flockt. Also
it's the same word.
Okay, also das ist so eine weiche Oberfläche und it's soft. I like it. Okay. So I like that very, very much. What is you say it as a kind of diary, so is this a little bit of autobiographical?
Yeah, definitely. The character is very much me. I think some people...
So who are you? This one or this one?
This one.
The dark one.
People get confused because I used to have short black hair for a long time, and then I grew it out in the pandemic because I didn't have any opportunity to dye it. Now it's like light again. So people... But in the past, people would tell me how much I did look like the character. So it's just... I didn't want to... redo the character after my hair changed.
Okay.
But yeah, it is my life. And
it's your life. So let's see. It's a life with a cat.
A life with a cat, yes.
And sometimes there's a dog I have seen.
Yeah, it's not my dog, but it's like an amalgamation of friends' pets because I love dogs and I like to write about them.
Because I especially, I'm a dog person, so I like the stories with the dog.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this is the diary thing. What is this about?
This is about cryptids. So I feel like this one might be a little bit more USA-centric because a cryptid is kind of like an animal that doesn't really exist like Bigfoot. And the US in particular has a lot of cryptids. There is Nessie. In there, and she's not from the States, but and aliens, those are kind of universal. But yeah, it's kind of like a story about little monsters and their friendships.
And what's about Fangs?
That is a love story between a vampire and a werewolf.
Sounds very Twilight-ish.
It is Twilight-ish. There's actually a reference to Twilight at one point.
You're a Twilight fan?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But I'm not a hater. I'm just not a fan.
Okay. Okay. So, do you have upcoming more side projects to this?
Yes, I'm working on a series of horror stories, and then I'm working on a fairy tale, and I'm maybe working on something with War and Peace. Maybe.
All right. So I guess you can make a living out of this.
Yeah.
So that's great. It's very. I think a lot of artists dream of it. So, would you say, if you give advice, it would be sensible to put a lot of effort on the social media thing? I know it's a lot of work to do that, but do you think these days this is the way to go?
Yeah. My agent told me that most publishers these days, if they're looking to print a book from somebody new, they're looking for at least 250,000 Instagram followers. I don't agree with that, but it is a reality now that social media presence for cartoonists specifically, I don't know about other genres, but social media presence is very influential for us.
So this is all about a little bit nerds and nerdism. Would you describe yourself as a nerd?
I think so, yeah. But I think people think because I'm in comics that's what I'm a nerd about. But it's more so other things, like horror movies, for example. But I would describe myself as a nerd because when I like something, I really obsessively like something, and I think that kind of separates like a casual connoisseur from a nerd.
I understand. Well, thank you very much for the time you took.
Of course.
And I wish you, well, you already have success, so I wish you ongoing success.
Thank you.
And I hope we see each other again.
Yes, likewise. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Great, thank you very much.
Of course.
So now I have to introduce you to this person, which is probably